Have y'all seen this film? Gamer. One of the words I would use to describe myself. Now, I went looking for a film to watch. If you haven't noticed, I was kind of in like a rut for movies I want to watch for this channel. Every movie I watched was either too bad, too good, or somehow I had nothing to say about it. So I like to think that got me like a scope of like exactly what kind of movies I like to watch for this channel. And so I was actually gonna watch Spy Kids, because I was like, that's perfect, kooky, weird storytelling from like the early 2000s that I just gotta watch. But then I was watching a YouTube video and they reminded me of this film, Gamer. So I was hoping this to be one of those films that was kind of like a cheesy, like, for gamers movies, kind of like the old Doom film, but oh, was it not that? I feel like I would call this like a hate letter to gaming. I was not expecting anything that this film was, so I just had to talk about it. And if you want to hear me talk about more films, let me know which ones they should be in the comments, and be sure to subscribe for more. Shilling aside, let's get into it. Also, I forgot to mention, I'm not a professional, I just talk a lot. Anyways, back to the video.
Peanut butter, almond butter, walnut butter, pretty much any kind of, nut butter.
So the film opens with Marilyn Manson's cover of Sweet Dreams played over a montage of a lot of like billboards and neon lights advertising this game Slayers. And already I dislike this film because it all looks so poorly photoshopped in. Like, you can tell all of this is added in post. Especially the ones that look like they're trying to be as if they were like projected onto the walls through light. They just look so bad. We then jump right into the action with what could be one of the worst shot fight scenes I've ever seen. It's all this like really intense shaky cam with quick effects going on left and right, edited in like the worst way I've ever seen. There is like really quick cuts and flashes to a lot of different shots, and when I say quick, I mean fast. So fast you can barely tell what's actually going on. And this is maybe a minute into the film. We, the audience, are still trying to actually engage and get into this world. And this scene is so bad at that. Oh, come on! This is so 2009. So as you can guess, this is our gamer game for only real gamers to play. Things explode, people get shot, I think. It's really hard to tell what's going on. So I actually didn't pick up on this until my second watch through, but what I think this is supposed to be setting up is that, like, the people in the game don't have control. So our hero gamer, Gerard Butler, hears someone behind him, and he's trying to tell his gamer player to turn around to shoot them. I think that's one of the big cruxes of the film. It really isn't, though. So then people shoot him, he runs away, and this whole time, he's trying to get to the save point. Now, if this is like a multiplayer shooter, why do you need a save point? Like, you're not going to a save point if you're playing Call of Duty, right? If it was an objective, that would make sense. But it's not. It's a save point. Something that becomes very obvious when you watch this movie is this is made from a gamer peripheral. The directors even said they based this game off of their friends who are gamers. So Cable gets to the save point, which I guess is the victory condition. I shit you not. It took me 3 viewings to figure out the point of the game. And then it shows Cable and the other playable characters on a train. Oh, Gerard Butler's name is Cable, by the way. Then we cut to the real world. Is that John Delancey? And behind, wait, is that, no, that one behind her, that's not, Skylar White, is it? No, it's actually Madeline Wunsch. The person they're interviewing is Ken Castle. He first created the game Society, which is kind of like The Sims, I guess. But you take control of real people that are essentially like paid actors for you to do whatever you want with. And then after that, he made a game called Slayers, which is the hardcore FPS we see being played by Mr. Gerard Butler. What's this like Bill Hader-ass guy? Just fucking like with the fake accent staring death into people's eyes. Like, this guy is clearly a fucking psychopath. Now, I didn't know this when I watched it, but the main villain's played by Michael C. Hall, who you probably know from the Dexter series. I've never watched Dexter, so I didn't know that was him. I constantly commented about just how weird and creepy this guy was, which I guess is fitting given his casting.
Think about it.
Wait, when did you start touching me? Apparently the writers actually wrote the character for Michael C. Hall. So when they pitched the studio to have Michael C. Hall star as the villain, they didn't really like it. So they had to have him come and actually audition, and he just blew it out of the water. So I do think he can play a really creepy villain. I don't know if a creepy villain really fits this movie. Like, he kind of feels like a mix of a Silicon Valley tech billionaire and a staunch pervert. I don't know if it fits. It just feels weird in this film.
They'll be off the air momentarily.
He looks like a TikTok villain.
What about you, sugar? Wonder if I might breach your firewall one of these days.
Oh, this guy. Everyone would hate this guy. During the interview, he kind of defends Slayers as to why they aren't just murder. Basically, all of the playable characters are death row inmates that are signed up for this. And that's supposed to be his, moral justification for it. He also explains how it works, and basically, they have some kind of surgery that makes it so their brain links up with the computer. It's about as scientifically accurate as just saying, we wrote code in their brain and it works now. It's really fucking stupid. After the interview, they get hacked by this group called Humans, with a Z, because that makes it sound sci-fi, who's headed by Ludacris.
This is nuts. It's like the signal is generating simultaneously from 6 countries.
They have a NordVPN subscription. I can't do anything. And they're basically just against all of it. Society, Slayers, all that stuff. And not like actual society, the video game called Society. You know, since this came out in 2009, how many jokes do you think people made about we live in a society after seeing this film? That was unescapable, honestly. After that is a scene that I completely missed. Not for lack of paying attention, but because the guy was whispering so quietly, I had no fucking clue what he said. What? The fuck are you saying? We then cut to the first shot we see in Society, the game. Now, to differentiate all of these different realities that the film takes place in, they had different color gradings for each one. So the real world was graded normally, Slayers was really dark and gray, and then Society was really bright and flashy. That doesn't mean the cinematography is any better. How they portray Society is really weird. First it opens up with a dance break. So all the people in the game are just really basically dancing and just doing weird stuff, like having water gun fights or dancing in a fountain or being fully naked. There is a lot of nudity in this film, and it's really weird. I feel like it's trying to portray the players of these games as morally vacant, so that it's they don't care, just have these people take their clothes off and do all this stuff. But this kind of leads to one of my big complaints, is that gamers, I don't think, would ever do this. Have you seen people who play The Sims? They don't just run around and fuck everyone in town. They actually do things and build relationships and actually play it as a life sim and not just random dance party game. This movie just doesn't like telling you things, does it? So then we got one of my favorite parts of the movie, where we see our sort of like protagonist society character, the girl with the blue hair, and she goes up to some other guy with the intention of having sex. But she's played by this, like, morbidly obese fat guy who's just eating fucking waffles as he plays.
No, just hanging out. Just looking to meet people.
Oh, he eat waffles! Like, he is dipping them in syrup and just gnawing down on it. It is so funny. Bro, you're gonna get syrup on your gamer setup. Like, if it was, like, Cheeto dust or something like that, it would have made so much more sense. Have you ever played a video game while drenching your hand in fucking maple syrup and eat waffles? It's gonna be hell to get that shit out of your keys. What the fuck is happening? So then Ludacris hacks this guy's setup and, like, he gets jump scared for, like, a 2009 PNG jump scare. And so, in rage, he grabs a fucking waffle and throws it at the TV. So then this hack gets reported by the news, specifically by James Rodney Rodriguez and Maggie Lawson of Psych fame. Is that Sean? Is this just a random Psych reunion? That's just a random Psych reunion. What the fuck? What the hell are you guys doing here? What are they doing here? Seriously. This film has such a weird all-star cast. It doesn't make sense. It's weird that they have such a big cast, and then the rest of the film looks like utter dog shit. So then, immediately after that news broadcast, we cut to another round of Slayer. Not another poorly shot fight scene. No! Oh, it was established earlier that if one of the volunteers for this game survives 30 fights, then they are free to go. And Cable, or Gerard Butler, is on fight 28, I believe, at this point. So he's almost out. Also, I should mention, during these fight scenes, there are, like, NPCs, essentially, that are also played by death row inmates, but they just have to survive the one match. The only problem is they aren't controlled by any one player and are instead given a pre-programmed set of actions. So, also during these fight scenes, you have these NPCs just sort of acting normal, like walking down the street or exchanging money with a bank teller and stuff like that. And this leads to another big problem with gaming, or their lack of knowledge with gaming. You see, NPCs react to the player. In GTA, if you go up and just start shooting at NPC, they're gonna run. They're gonna react and try to run away. So just having these, like, NPC players, or I think they call them Gibbs at some point, that just don't react to anything around them, just isn't part of gaming. Like, this whole film has not just a dated view of gaming, but an uneducated one. Now, the more I complain about these fight scenes and how badly they're shot, just gets me more angry, because pretty much all of these fights were done practically. All the sets were real. All the explosions were real. All the guns were real, safe real on a movie set. All the action was real, and it was just so poorly shot. This movie was filmed in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they actually chose that location because they wanted the challenge of turning what was like a small town, essentially, into a big metropolis in this sort of cyberpunk story they were telling. I genuinely didn't know that this was cyberpunk until after I did my research. So they actually built this massive multi-building set for all the fights in Slayer and filmed around it. And it was like in New Mexico. It was like an intersection that they just closed off. And they filled it with explosions and gunfire, fake gore, and all this stuff to make it look really cool. But then during editing, it just looks fucking awful. What is, like, who thought of editing this fight scene like this was a good idea? Apparently the editor they got made this really weird and disorientating editing style where things are really fast and things jitter around a lot, which the directors thought was cool because they thought it was like, oh, it's like a video game, you know, it's glitches and all this other stuff. But it's not good for a movie because it makes me want to throw up. How they filmed these fight scenes really cool. Like, the cameraman was on fucking roller skates, chasing behind Gerard Butler as he ran around and shot shit. It was really cool. But this fucking editing that is so disorientating is awful. I should mention that because there were so many, like, practical stunts and real guns on set and real explosions and stuff, that the producer actually wrote personal letters to all of the safety team thanking them for keeping everyone safe and uninjured on this set, because that's how dangerous it was. Which I think is a nice thing. Also, you notice it more later on in the film, but it feels like every shot of this movie is either an extreme wide shot or an extreme close-up. and it makes it hard to tell what the fuck is going on. Always. Like, using extreme close-ups and extreme wide shots interchangeably can be cool, but I feel like when mixed with this rapid editing style, it means I can't tell what the fuck is going on. So this is a pretty bog standard action scene for this film, running around, shooting things, not knowing what's happening. But then Gerard Butler turns a corner and there's like a car like flying through the air, exploding, and then it plays this like really somber music. Like, why is this supposed to be somber? Whoa, so gamer. Why is it somber? You have not given us a reason for this to be somber unless they're trying to say, oh, these are all real people who are dying in this sick game. But no one dies in this shot. It's just, you feel sad because music's sad now. Haha. I feel like this film is trying to say, like, all gamers are moralists. It's hopeless people that do awful things. But, like, I guarantee you, a majority of gamers would not actually play a game like this for moral reasons. Like, the psychopaths in GTA are psychopaths because they know their actions don't have consequences. This would have consequences. So then it goes back to, like, normal shooting stuff, and there's this really weird bit where this NPC, like, walks into a thing, and, like, it glitches out, so he's, like, you know, walks in, backs up. But then the editing just made it look, like, incredibly glitchy, which, again, if you're playing a video game and an NPC starts walking into a wall, your screen does not start shaking and breaking. God, this is so badly edited. And then there's this NPC woman who's walking across the road, and Cable's player sees her, like, jumps and grabs her and tries to save her from a snowplow that's going down the road. But then she just stands up, turns around, and walks back, and then the somber music starts playing again, and she gets fucking hit by a truck. Like, this is so fucking ridiculous. But then, we get an image of the HUD. Yo, is this the Elite Gamer? Oh, this HUD sucks. Yo, why is this ping so high? Oh, God. Okay, first off, this guy has 100 fucking ping. Are you fucking kidding me? Second, this rotating gun hollow of what you have equipped is really bad. And it's like, it's not even like late 2010s HUD style. This is like PS2 era. I want to say like Metal Gear Solid 1 HUD style. And also the ammo count doesn't change as he shoots. Oh wait, the ammo actually does change. No, it doesn't. The ammo counter doesn't change with his gun firing. It changes seemingly randomly. He's 413 meters away from the save point. Again, I hate that name. And the kill counter takes up like a chunk of the screen. Like, you do not need that. Also, if he has 4 grenades, why isn't he using them? So anyway, yeah, he runs around, shoots people, stuff like that. Then he gets hit by a train that transitions us to a party in LA. What? Did he go into a train that was also LA? Apparently, there is a global stream of this fight going on. This is really what they thought Overwatch League would become. So then after that, we finally meet Cable's player, Logan Lerman. He makes himself a avocado butter and jelly sandwich, which he cuts the crusts off of. He walks past his fucking shark tank into his holographic display room. Also, his sharks make dolphin sounds, and he tells them to shut up. What is even happening? We're only 30 minutes in!
Gay.
He goes and like lays down in a beanbag chair while his hollow display just projects around him, and I swear he has a lot of spam. Like, how, like, has he been hacked already? So while he's in there, some women should take their tops off for him and then offer to buy control of Cable for like $1 million or something like that. And then he also gets footage of Cable shooting a guy in prison, which is why he's on death row. but they also send him a mod for the game that lets him talk to Cable called Walkie Talkie. Meanwhile, Dexter wants Cable dead for some reason, so he recruits a big, intimidating prisoner to kill him, played by Terry Crews. Is that Terry Crews? Now, yes, I know, Terry Crews can be a big, intimidating guy, but come on. Terry Crews is a teddy bear in real life. I don't know if this is just a me thing, but I can't take Terry Crews as a big, scary guy, cause he's not. Anyway, Dexter explains that the biggest problem in the game is ping, which we saw Mr. Logan Lerman had a very high ping. So giving Terry Crews full control means he doesn't have to wait for a player to tell him what to do. Ergo, there'd be no ping, therefore he has to get advantage. Now, I kinda get this. Like, I think this is a smart idea, but I feel like they talk about ping like it's a much bigger advantage than it actually is. So, if you're an actual gamer, you know about this thing called server regions, where say you live in the western side of the US. You are only going to get games with other players in the western side of the US, so you all have roughly the same ping. Most of the time, your ping is only going to be a delay of 9 to 26 milliseconds. The only time this can become a really big game changer is literal millisecond reaction times, or if two things happen at the exact same time. So let's say Logan's on the high side. Let's say he has a 100 millisecond ping. That means he is a 1/10 of a second slower than potentially other players. Which I feel like in the grand scheme of how this game works, wouldn't matter all that much. I don't know, maybe some like pro gamers could argue that ping has a much bigger play than I'm giving it credit for, but to me, making ping such a big problem in this film doesn't really make sense. So anyway, Terry Crews just stands there like growling for some reason. So then Terry Crews and Gerard Butler meet, and Terry Crews just standing there fully naked, covered in blood. I feel like I can't help but laugh, because Terry Crews just had it like, I just killed a guy. Look at the blood. Isn't it cool? And then he sings, like, I Got No Strings, which is too Ultron for me. He is shot exactly like the vampires in Sinners. Also, I should say, the original idea was to do this scene in towels, but Terry Crews came on the set and said, what if we do it fully nude? So, that's his idea. Also, with how he's shot here, I feel like he looks more like a FNAF animatronic than anything actually intimidating. We also see Terry Crews flexing his cool-ass gun, which broke my mind. He's not, like,
that trigger pulls.
Actually playing. Wait, isn't that a shotgun? Okay, so the guns in this film were meant to seem sci-fi and futuristic, but not like laser guns. But I feel like they did a really bad job of disguising them. First, I wanted to applaud the guns in this film, because I thought they had very gamer guns. Okay, what guns? They have G36. Is that an F2000? That's a gamer gun. That's Sam Fisher. Because Gerard Butler had a G36. That's a very gamer gun. Other people around him had F2000s, which, you know, is like Sam Fisher's gun. But Terry Crews uses a Saiga, something like that. Basically, it's a Russian shotgun. But he uses it like it's a fully automatic machine gun. Now, the armor for this film actually knew it was a Saiga, and he modified it to have a higher fire rate, which, you know what, a super high fire rate, fully automatic shotgun sounds cool. It even ejects something akin to shotgun shells, and he has a very unmistakable drum shotgun mag. The armor actually described this gun as the most illegal gun ever made, which I thought was hilarious. But they never use this gun like a shotgun. They just treat it as a big machine gun, which, as a gun nerd myself, pisses me off. Now, I want to say a lot of gaming for these types of FPS hardcore shooter games are gun nerds themselves. So when you show us a shotgun and tell us it's an assault rifle, we call you on your bullshit. And that's what I'm doing here. God. Anyway, so this fight's at like some dirt bike rally or whatever. So there's like people in the audience cheering. There's people on bikes doing tricks and shit. Oh, what's that? Not much happens. Logan Lerman and Cable talk about how Cable needs control because he knows that Terry Crews is after him, so he can't have that input lag, and so he's saying, like, give me full control, and he's like, I can't do that. Also, that guy from Violent Night gets shot because he was in the wrong spot for some reason. Oh well. So Cable breaks into, like, the sub-parking garage of this building, but that's a restricted area, so he can't actually go there. But then Terry Crews shows up, like, knocks him to the floor, and is about to shoot him in the head with his gun. But, like, his safety engages after he pulls the trigger, and the bullet just falls onto the floor.
Bye, Cable.
Wait, what? What? Okay, I want to go back. Send me back. What was that? I need to break this fucking down. Okay, so he pulled the trigger on his gun. It didn't fire for whatever reason, and the bullet fell out. That's not how guns work! Who thought that was a cool idea? Who wanted to do that? That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen! So then Cable kicks him and gets to the save point. So after that, we have a scene in the real world where the actor in Society is trying to get custody of her daughter, but they won't give her to her because she's an actor in Society. Is that Angel?
So it says you're an actor?
Now, I'm gonna be honest, when I first watched this movie, I didn't realize that her and the Society lady were the same person. So I thought these were just two unrelated plot lines. So then we cut back to Logan Lerman in his shitty gaming setup, doing shitty sci-fi hand maneuvers. The fucking... I hate his setup. His setup fucking sucks. When he gets hacked by Ludacris. And as Ludacris talks, he still has, like, the weird glitchy hacker voice where he, like, repeats the words and his head's glitching around, which just doesn't make sense for a live video feed.
You're the guy from the TV, the humans.
That's right, baby. You think about what the brother said?
You were listening?
We see and hear everything that goes on inside.
How are you editing this in real time?
All right. He knows things. He knows things. Things he don't even know.
How are you doing that? You just move like this? Does he have like a soundboard? Like, if it was a pre-recorded message, it makes sense. But the fact that he's live and just repeating the words he says is really weird. But anyway, Ludacris says that he made the walkie-talkie mod, and now he wants to give Lerman a mod that will let Cable take full control during the fight, which is what Cable asked for. So of course he's gonna do it. But for some fucking reason, this fight, Cable decides to get fucking wasted with a bottle of whiskey. Or, I don't, Everclear or some shit. Damn, bro's a professional alcoholic. I really don't understand why. Did he think this is gonna be his final fight, so he wanted to go out with a party? Did he think that he would feel less pain if he was drunk? Does he think he can just fight better when he's on alcohol? Anyway, poor time to get fucking smashed. So anyway, there's more bad editing as Cable drunkenly runs through the fire zone. Hey, this make me nauseous. I hate this editing. I just had a whole plate of fucking chicken fingers. I do not have the stomach to watch this bad of editing. Honestly, if this fight was really choppily and weirdly edited because he was drunk, I would have liked that. It could have been really good. But the fact that it's every fight is fucking stupid and nauseating.
Listen, this is the last game. You're gonna end up dead.
Oh, he's so obviously on a green screen! Oh, I hate this!
What the hell?
What?
That's just gross, bro.
What is he doing? Wait, that was his fucking plan? Okay. I think you saw my live reaction there. I figured out what his plan was. He drank pure ethanol, or at least a high ethanol beverage, so that he could go find a car that took ethanol and threw up into the gas tank and then peed in it so he'd have gas to drive away. Oh, what am I watching? So Cable hotwires the car, and as soon as he does that, Terry Crews shows up and starts firing his gun at the car, and so then Cable starts driving away, and Terry Crews jumps off to the side of the car and starts laughing like a maniac, only to get fucking hit off the car on a concrete pillar. Oh, what am I even watching anymore? What? Man, I wish I could actually enjoy his, Oh, God, I wish I could actually enjoy Terry Crews' performance and it wasn't edited to shit like this. So then Cable races off the game map. A, drone tries to stop him and he shoots it. Logan Lerman gets mad and throws a pillow at the wall. And then we get a reprise of Sweet Dreams by Marilyn Manson. Free Guy had an actual, understanding of gaming. This so doesn't. Shut up, Marilyn Manson! This song is really good. This is a fun song. It does not fit a high-octane chase scene. It sounds more like he just turned on the radio to Marilyn Manson while this completely separate event was going on around him. Also, I have a note here that just says the gamer lingo is really bad. So, I don't remember what that was, so just roll the clip.
Cable is officially listed as fragged, just one session away from being reversed.
Oh, that's what I meant, the gamer lingo sucks. Okay, I'll just put that clip in. Fragged! So after Cable escaped, all the news was reporting that Cable was reportedly dead, or fragged. Anyway, let's cut back to the fat guy playing society, shall we? What is this subplot? He looks like Rock Hard from the latest season of The Boys. What is happening? What's with this fat guy? Oh, I'm losing fucking brain cells watching this. I need to stop. Okay, new day, new shirt. Same fucking movie. So Cable is just wandering the streets, I assume looking for his wife, when this girl on a bike pulls up and starts talking to him. Cable asks her who she is, and she says, "You've asked me that before," which is my least favorite way of establishing two characters have met already. There's so much in this film that I just didn't pick up on in the moment, and I think that's to the film's fault. The director said that this was a film that you had to watch 2 or 3 times and you'd be picking up new stuff. But if the first time you watch it, you don't get a full view of what the fuck is actually happening, I don't think it's a good movie. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even realize half of the plots in this film were connected until rewatching it for a second time. If I went and saw this in a movie theater and walked out not knowing shit about the plot, I would not be happy. I don't know what to call it, But this film has a serious problem of things not being explained because the writer knows what's going on. It's like things happen and the writer who is writing this is really engrossed and excited in the story because they know why everything is happening, but they haven't properly conveyed that to the audience yet. It's something that can be pretty easy to mess up with when writing, and I think that's one of the film's biggest flaws. It's that it just doesn't like to explain to the audience what's happening, or if they do, they make it very brief and assume the audience is good at picking up these really fast and quick references. So Cable gets on her bike, and then there's a way too long and way too poorly cut sequence of them driving through the streets and then turning into a building and then riding down an elevator. It's like, so many of my notes is this looks awful. This is one of the worst shot movies I have ever seen. Like, what the fuck is happening? They end up in an underground arcade where Ludacris's whole gang has been working in the shadows, and they find him playing air hockey. So then Ludacris explains his motivations and his goals, first by having a lot of just random tech bullshit, and then just some very basic, like, dystopian society stuff. Basically, Dexter's trying to control the world with magic science that we don't understand. Like, I love how just generally anti-society this film is with this plotline. Just like, yeah, no, this guy's making literally everything worse, and we need to stop him. This whole scene, once again, is either shot by incredibly brief wide shots or extreme close-ups, making it really annoying to watch. Cable, much like the audience, no longer wants to put up with this bullshit and starts walking out, but Ludacris pulls him back in by saying he knows where his wife is. Then we cut back to society. So the fat guy controlling the girl in society walks into this, like, nightclub where everyone has sex and eats bugs. Are there actual clubs where the main drive is just eating insects? It's so weird. So this other guy comes up to her at the bar and starts, like, awkwardly flirting with her. And because the fat guy is, I don't know, a degenerate, he's like, sure, why not?
Oh, hi. Rick Rape, right?
Rape, right?
I, too, play video games fully nude. And so they ride up the elevator, and he starts humping her like a dog. Oh, I hate every second of this. So they're about to start doing it when Cable comes out of nowhere and breaks the guy's fucking spine. Like, it looked like fucking Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. So the fat guy, clearly not knowing what's going on, tries to seduce his way out of Cable killing him. Cable kind of explains that he's there for the actress that the guy's playing, not actually him. And the fat guy's like, I have to control her. That's just how the game works.
If you say anything else, and I will find you, and I will rip you to fucking pieces, you understand me?
Wait, what is the, like, thing with this? I don't understand this movie. I wasn't ready for this. Is this almost over? Oh, it is. Oh, thank God. Is there a meaning behind this plotline? Like, people are selling themselves so fat, ugly, fully nude gamers can control them. That doesn't mean fucking shit! That is the point of this film. And so Cable's like, fine, we're getting out of here. So as they're leaving, fucking Terry Crews appears in the elevator and blasts a Cable in the chest. Also, at this point, my video started lagging for some reason, and I honestly couldn't tell if it was part of the film or not. Is my video lagging? Luckily, Cable is wearing a bulletproof vest, so he's fine. However, Terry Crews does kidnap his wife. But while they're on the elevator, these other two people get on, and the fat guy is like, do it. Kill them, and he's getting, like, turned on by it, so Terry Crews licks his fucking knife and stabs them. So somehow, when the elevator doors open on a separate floor, Cable is there waiting for them. Wrong floor, motherfucker! This guy must be fast as hell if he can outrun an elevator and still have the energy to beat up Terry Crews. Like, that's some impressive stamina. So they get into a fight. Cable shoots Terry Crews in the foot and steals his gun when more just like unnamed goons come in and try to shoot Cable, so he shoots them back. This isn't supposed to be Slayer. Like, where the fuck did these guys come from? Does society have armed guards in case of this exact situation? Clearly they're not that good. So while they're running, Cable asks the fat guy where to go, and the guy leads them to a nightclub, and you'll never guess it, but it's just as badly shot as the rest of the film. Only worse, with rave colors and all this other shit. And the little we can figure out from this rave, it's intense. They got fucking flesh hooks in this! So the goons follow them into the nightclub and start trying to shoot them, killing random bystanders in this, like, psychedelic fever nightmare of a scene. But then Cable, I think, gets a gun and starts shooting them, and this is probably the worst cinematography so far. The lights are like fucking flashing. It's switching between black light and like normal light. The camera is constantly spinning around Cable, and you can't tell anything that's going on. But thankfully, they leave. So they run out of the building, and a van pulls up, driven by the reporter lady from earlier, and her group of Oompa Loompas help them get out. I'm not making that up.
I can get you out of here.
Who's this Oompa Loompa looking ass? Cut to Logan Lerman is in police custody. Apparently he's being convicted of helping a convicted felon escape because they think he got Cable out of the prison system. So he's being interrogated by Keith David? It's no.
Remember that day, huh?
What? Keith David! And no, this is not Keith David playing a detective. His name is Detective Keith. Fucking Keith David! And I swear, somehow his performance is just as creepy and pervy as the rest of the film so far.
Suspected in aiding in the escape of a convicted murderer from a maximum security penitentiary. The charges are beyond serious. Everybody you talk to, everything you saw, everything you did.
Why are you so close to me, Mr. David?
I
I feel like he's gonna lick him. But halfway through the interrogation, Logan Lerman asks for a sandwich, and that leads him on to a discussion about peanut butters.
Could you guys do a sandwich like peanut butter, almond butter, walnut butter, pecan butter, pistachio butter, pretty much any kind of, nut butter?
Why are you talking about peanut butter? Meanwhile, Ludacris cures Cable of his, like, mind control thing, the thing that lets him hook up to Slayer. And in the process, he gets his memories back, and he realizes that it was Dexter that was in control of him when he shot his friend, which is why he's in death row. And because that was like a test to make sure that the technology actually worked. And that's why Michael C. Hall was so determined to kill him. I may have got some of that wrong, because at this point in the show, I decided to just start looking at Reddit reviews of this film. Trust me, they were more entertaining than the film itself. One Redditor, I overall enjoyed the movie. There's a scene with a guy stuffing French toast into his mouth while sweating and pretends to be a woman. This deeply scarred me as a teenager. That's fucking Dexter? Oh, that's where I recognize him! No wonder he comes off as a psychopath. I hated it. It was one of the few movies I had to stop watching. The camera work and the visual style felt like it hated me, and I wanted to hate me right back. So while everyone in Ludacris's team is arguing about what the fuck just happened, Cable gets up and goes and has like a mild panic attack in the hallway. Like, it doesn't really look like he's that torn up about it. He's just like I don't know. I have another 20 minutes. No. So his wife, finally free of the society thing, goes and comforts Cable, and then the other biker girl tells him that we can find Michael C. Hall. We just gotta follow the data trail, and it's really bland how she says it. Meanwhile, someone releases Logan Lerman from prison, and so he walks back to his house and just sits in the middle of his setup that's surrounded by hackers saying fuck you. Why go in this room? Like, why stay in there? Seriously, he has a house. Go sit by the shark tank. That was way more cozy. And maybe the sharks are also telling him to fuck off now. So then, cut to Cable walking through the dead of night to the Society/Slayer HQ, which just looks fucking awful. But I guess Dexter's waiting for him, so he can just walk into the building, and he sees his daughter in this room surrounded by, I don't know, cocoa melon. And he runs to try to get her, but it's a very convincing television. Nerd. So Dexter starts taunting him, and Cable begins to explore a little bit more, and he finds Dexter doing a random dance break. What? Is this... What? Another random dance break! I'm reminding you, this is the second dance scene in this movie. And so Dexter has like a bunch of other people from the Slayer games that he's brought in to be backup dancers for his random dance break. And during the dance break, they show Cable a video of his goons breaking into Ludacris's base and killing everyone with epilepsy, it seems. And right after that, all of the backup dancers then go and try to kill Cable, with Dexter still dancing in the background. This feels like someone watched an art house film and had no idea what it was about, but tried to recreate it. And so Cable just beats the shit out of all of them. Like, effortlessly. Literally killing all of them. So after the fight, Dexter's like, hey, I know you just want your daughter, so don't hurt me or she's gonna be in trouble. So he takes Cable for a walk across the cosmos and then into a basketball court where Terry Crews is playing basketball in the back. What's like the color grading on this film is awful as well.
Not as small as me.
I gotta take my glasses off every once in a while to actually appreciate how bad this film looks. And this whole time, Dexter's explaining that basically he's wired up with the same technology that all the Slayers and whatnot use, only he can control them. So he has control over everyone who signs up to be part of society or Slayers or whatever. And to prove it, he makes Terry Crews start dancing. This villain really likes dancing, doesn't he? So while they're talking, Terry Crews sneaks up on Cable with a knife, and Cable kills him effortlessly. So all this buildup of Terry Crews being this like deranged serial killer who's like an unstoppable monster. One fair fight between Cable and Terry Crews, and Cable doesn't even take a blow. So Terry Crews wasn't really a threat from what I'm getting from here. Not the double snapped neck! See, when your hero can't even take a hit, it really lowers the stakes of your film. Especially when you're setting up this big kind of like final boss like Terry Crews, and then as soon as he shows up properly, your hero kills him instantly. It's just not very cool. And then if the stakes couldn't get any lower, Cable goes up to stab Dexter, but as soon as the knife gets to his throat, he freezes. And it turns out that the magic tech bullshit that Ludacris did, Dexter undid, and now he has full control of Cable. But then the reporter lady hacks into something and broadcasts the camera feed from the movie to the people of the streets of the city, and they see that Dexter's not a very good guy.
You're mine, boy. You're mine, boy.
How'd they get that camera angle? So Dexter takes his shirt off and starts fighting Cable, who can't really fight back. Why'd you take your shirt off? But then starts taunting to an audience he had set up for the fight. And in like a single retaliation, Cable like claws Dexter's chest like a fucking animal. What? How did he just claw him? You really gotta trim your nails if you can pierce flesh with them. So in one last attempt to taunt Cable, Dexter brings out his family, his wife and daughter, which he kidnapped prior, I guess. And he makes Cable crawl over to them and is going to force him to stab his child. But somehow during all this, Logan Lerman gets control of Cable again and gets him to stick the knife back in the ground. And what should be a really cool final scene of Logan Lerman in control of Cable as they fight Michael C. Hall. That doesn't happen. Instead, Cable lunges towards Michael C. Hall with the knife, but can't stab him because of, like, the mind blocks that Cable have. I'm probably getting far too away from the mic for this, but it's serious end of movie time. So Cable can't stab Dexter, and Dexter says, I think it, you do it. And so Cable tells him, see that knife? Imagine it going into your stomach. Think about it. And that's enough to break Dexter's mental barriers and get him to stab him. Like, I've come around on this idea. I thought it was stupid when I first watched it, but I think that's kind of clever. Like, hey, imagine me killing you. That's how I get past your mind game. So I kind of like it. Okay, I'll give it that. I feel like this whole final fight is so much missed potential. Like, they could have made this really badass, but it was just so quick and bad. So then the audience that just watched their boss get stabbed, just like, well, guess we're unemployed, and walk out. And they did that. They just watched him get stabbed. They're like, well, it's our boss is dead. And then Cable asks them to set him free, and they're like, sure, and let him go. I have defeated your CEO. That makes me the leader of the company.
Well played, Cable.
These people don't give a fuck. I feel like this movie would be a little better if people reacted like actual human beings. And then Cable, his wife, his daughter drive off into the sunset. And the last shot is big bold text that says, game over. Insert coin.
Game over.
Insert coin? Really? God! That is your ending reference? Insert coin? How old are you? This was 2009. Who the fuck was playing an arcade game back then? We had GTA 4. So yeah, that was Gamer. I genuinely don't think I've seen a worse shot film. Of what I've seen so far, at least with the Minecraft movie, I knew what was going on at the time, and same with all of the Jawses. I'll give this film a lot of the practical effects, and learning more behind the scenes seemed like this film was gonna be cool. It's just how it was edited. It's so bad. Boo! These guys suck! If this film had like a better cinematographer and a better editor, this probably would have been an okay, just sort of shut your brain off and watch the crazy shit. But because of the editing and the camera work, it makes you want to fucking vomit. So where's this go on the tier list? I'm gonna say, do I have an E? I think I'm gonna put this on like an E. It's not as bad as Jaws 2, but there's very little redeeming qualities of this film. I would rather watch the Minecraft movie. So yeah, that's the film. If you like this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what your favorite gamer moment of this film was. I don't fucking know. So anyways, hopefully a better movie next time. See you then. The director said that this was a type that as all of the Societans, actually they have a name, I don't bother, I don't care what it is. hitting women. Now this is a game for gamers. Oh. So I just got like a brand new monitor, and like it's like really fancy and OLED, and this is the first movie I watch on it. Dear God. At least I have chicken tenders to eat, which is too Voltron for me. Voltron, Ultron. I feel like people would be a lot more against this. Why is it somber again? I was not expecting this much nudity in this film, but that's what gamers like me like, isn't it?
First volunteer was a quote from Travis Scott.
Travis Scott? I guess Travis Scott does once you get those squad wins for the crew tonight. They're friends. Hi. I'm recording a video. Watching a gamer. It's really bad.